this right here is a reason why I do not advocate for sellers to sell on Amazon. When you sell on Amazon's platform, you don't have the keys, it's not your business anymore. At least that's how I feel. And this is the perfect example of that. They completely overstepped your business and they gave your money away and they don't care. Hey everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to every reseller's favorite video series on YouTube, Frequently Asked Fridays. Well, I don't know if it's actually everybody's favorite video series on YouTube, but certainly is mine. And that's because every single episode of Frequently Asked Fridays is dedicated to answering all of your questions and filling these videos with as much information as possible. But by far, my personal favorite part of this Frequently Asked Friday video series is my partnership with Wholesale Ninjas, because every single episode, Wholesale Ninjas gives away a 100 count liquidation lot to one of my viewers that asks a question to be featured on every episode. And this is episode number 18. That means we've already had 17 winners of free inventory for their eBay stores. If you don't know who Wholesale Ninjas is, they are by far my favorite liquidation company for sourcing merchandise for my eBay store. In my experience, they are the most consistent with the availability of product that I personally like to sell. Their quality control is always on point, and that is really important to me because I like to buy a lot of health and beauty, personal care, and cosmetics. And so when those kind of items are just rolling around in boxes, the likelihood of them arriving damaged is a lot higher. But with Wholesale Ninjas, I just open up the box and everything is always impeccably packaged. There's very little breakage and I can start listing stuff immediately because stuff's not just covered in stickers like with those other places. If you guys know anything about me, you know I hate taking off stickers. I'd rather just get the stuff listed without having to spend hours taking stickers off of stuff. It's a real pain point for me. Because Wholesale Ninjas is a partner of my YouTube channel and they are sponsoring this video series, I do have a coupon code for them. The code is Lindey25 and it gets you $25 off of anything on the Wholesale Ninjas website. But if you want a chance to win a free 100 count lot from Wholesale Ninjas, let me tell you what you need to do in order to enter to win. All you have to do is ask me a question. Just go down into the comment section and ask a question to be featured on the next episode. Just make sure to start your question with 5 question marks because that is going to indicate entry into the giveaway. And if you asked a question on the last episode, make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out if you are our 18th winner. So let's go ahead and get started with all of the questions that came in from the last episode. Oh, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, this is not me. Yeah, I don't comment on stuff like this. And I wanted to make sure to bring it up because I see these comments popping up more and more frequently. I know a lot of you guys look really confused because they are, of course, replicating my channel. They're using my name, they're using my photo, and I keep trying to block these scammer comments as soon as I see them, but unfortunately I can't always catch them before they start going out in droves to my viewers. So just know anytime you see any comments like this where I'm asking you to text message me at a WhatsApp number or I'm wanting to talk to you in private for financial advice, that is definitely not me. It's just somebody using my photo and my persona to try to get you to contact them about some sort of a scammy something or other. But what I would ask that you do if you do get a reply to one of your comments with a weird message like this, just go ahead and click on the channel and go and report it to YouTube for me because that will help me combat these scammers a little bit faster. Karen Torres asks, how do you feel about the folks that are clearly using your store to dropship items? How tempted are you to include the invoice in these orders just to spite the dropshippers? So Karen left this comment on my most recent monthly sales recap video that I posted this last Tuesday. I'll make sure to link that video in case you missed it. But in that sales recap video, I pointed out that there was telltale signs that someone was using my store to dropship items to their customers. The telltale sign that I would always see is when someone says, this is a gift, please do not include invoice, but they bought multiples of the exact same item at the same time going to all different addresses. This is indeed a red flag that my items are being drop shipped to customers, and honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Although I do like your little comment about including an invoice just to spite them. You a nasty little minx, aren't you, Karen? No, it really doesn't bother me because here's the thing. I am the one getting the business. So when drop shippers use another seller to drop ship product to their buyers, they are getting a very, very, very small margin most of the time. Maybe he made $1 off of drop shipping my product, but I made a lot more money because of it. Honestly, when an item of mine sells, I don't care what the buyer does with it. If they're buying something from me to resell it on another platform at a profit, I don't care because I got the profit I wanted anyway. So rather than feeling annoyed or spiteful, I just try to be grateful that I am getting the business. Because in this particular circumstance, this buyer bought 5 of the same item from me. So that meant I was getting 5 times the profit from the same buyer. And I like to move items out as quickly as possible to make room in my inventory for new merchandise that comes in. So regardless of who is buying the product and where it's going, I'm just grateful for the sale. Hustle and Budget Mom asks, are pallets delivered by big semi-trucks? We live on a gravel minimum maintenance road, and I know big trucks can get down there because it's a ranch and we get cattle and grain trucks down there. But would a liquidation company not want to come down it, do you think? Thanks, Lindey, for all your help and videos. So in my experience with all of the different trucking companies that I've spoke with for freight delivery, I have never heard of any of them saying that they wouldn't go down country roads. And I do make it a point to ask them about this because I know that I have a lot of viewers that do live on rural roads and they might want to have pallets be delivered. So to answer your question, most of the time pallets are delivered using a truck that has a lift gate on it, which usually means it's a standard box truck. Typically, semi-trucks would have an open flatbed, and that wouldn't be ideal for most buyers to receive their pallets because most buyers don't have a forklift to remove the pallets off of the open truck bed. So typically, anytime I have pallets delivered, they are delivered in a box truck that has a lift gate, which is a little bit smaller than a semi-truck. And truck drivers are pretty typical to dealing with roads that are less than desirable. So I think it would be a very, very rare circumstance where a truck would not be able to deliver down your road. Darren's Fun Finds asks, in your last video about expiration dates, you said you put the date in the title even if you have multiple listings. How do you prevent people from reaching into the back of the cooler and grabbing the newest one, thus keeping the oldest listing from being sold? Price. Really, that's the only way you can control the buyer just simply buying the expiration date that is the furthest out. I like to give incentive via price to get buyers to buy the closer dates. So for instance, if I have a certain item that expires next month and I have the identical item that also expires at the end of the year, I'm going to discount the price of the one that expires next month to try to entice the buyer to buy that one instead. Beyond that, there's really nothing you can do to try to keep them from buying the farthest one out. But really, if someone is searching a product on eBay, they're probably just going to buy the first one that they see that reflects the price that they want to pay. If anything, they might just be looking at the expiration date to make sure it's not already expired. Amaya Hustles asks, what is your end goal for your reselling business? For example, are you planning on renting or a share house or brick and mortar? Thank you for the great videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Amaya. You know, I used to think that I wanted a warehouse and I thought that I wanted like a storefront for the warehouse so I could operate like a brick and mortar store and then have eBay in the back and completely take my business outside of my house. But then the more I thought about it, the more I started to realize that the reason why I do what I do is because of the flexibility of it. And the minute I take my business into a warehouse or I get a storefront, I'm basically denying myself the flexibility, which was one of the whole reasons why I started doing this to begin with. Not to mention the idea of having more overhead. One of the benefits to reselling out of your home is you have to pay for the house that you're living in anyway. You have to pay your rent or your mortgage or your electric bill, regardless of whether or not you're running a business out of it. So if you go off and you rent or buy property just to house your business, business, you're automatically increasing your overhead, which means you have to sell significantly more merchandise just to continue to make the same amount of money you were making inside your own home. For example, at one point I was considering renting or buying a piece of property, had this cute little storefront, a little side office, and a back room for listing online. I did the math and came to the conclusion that I would have to do 5 times the amount of sales in order to maintain the same paycheck and profits that I was making. Now, you could argue that having a storefront and having some warehouse space would make it a lot easier to process 5 times the amount of items to get 5 times the amount of sales, and maybe even sell those items just as quickly. However, that's also 5 times the amount of work. And if I can't do 5 times the amount of work by myself, that means I'd have to hire employees, which is even more overhead. And then suddenly the flexibility is gone because you have a location that you need to be at. So I decided that my goal would be to keep my reselling business inside my house, and I would just do my best to maximize the storage space that I had so that I could list as many items as possible and get my profits to the point where I wanted them to be without having to take it outside of my house. Minerva Pina asks, do you think the market will get saturated by selling personal items? I am new to eBay, part-time seller, and I am always thinking about adding different items. By the way, love your content, always informative. Thank you very much. So I actually get this question a lot. There's a lot of concern about always selling in a saturated market, especially because I publicly voiced that I felt like clothing was too much of a saturated market in order for me to continue selling the kind of clothing items that I was selling, which is what made me do such a 180 and start selling the kind of items I'm selling now by liquidation. But there's a big difference between selling in a saturated personal care market versus a saturated clothing market. And that's because personal care and health and beauty items are consumable. Clothing is not. When you're selling in a saturated market, whether or not the items are considered consumable is a major factor. And that's because when an item is used up, and needing to be purchased again, that a market can sustain being saturated. For instance, if you're selling a white t-shirt and there's 100,000 different white t-shirts listed, how often is someone going to buy a white t-shirt? They might buy a white t-shirt and not need to buy another one for a while. Whereas if you're selling a specific kind of cosmetic like CoverGirl mascara and there's 100,000 other CoverGirl mascaras, someone is going to buy that CoverGirl mascara because that is their favorite brand of mascara. They're going to use it and then they're going to need to buy more. And they might need to buy one once a month. So now that one buyer is buying that same item again and again versus the buyer that would have bought maybe one t-shirt per year. And that's the power of consumables. And that's the power of consumable items in a saturated market. These are items that get used, they get used up, and they are bought again and again on the platform. So one buyer buys the same item multiple times per year rather than one buyer that might buy one item once in a year, which means that that saturated market just keeps getting more and more saturated. Everyday items aren't selling. Personal care items are also a category that people need versus a category of things that people might want. Someone might consider that CoverGirl mascara a need versus just wanting to buy a t-shirt. Selling deodorant is a consumable and it's a need. People don't want deodorant, people need deodorant. Like my son, he needs deodorant. And I prefer to buy it online because I can get a better deal. And I have to buy it again and again and again, because if I forget to buy it, I can smell it. If you have a teenage boy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So to answer your question, I think it is very, very difficult to oversaturate a consumable market. Meg Ale asks, hi Lindey. Hey Meg. In what category do you think it's more likely to get returns, clothing or health and beauty, since you've had experience with both? Clothing, hands down, gets more returns. Typically, when someone buys in a health and beauty category, they know exactly what they're buying. They're buying that mascara that they wear all the time, or the deodorant that they always buy for their kids. It's a lot less likely that someone is going to buy a health and beauty item and just want to return it for whatever reason they might have. Whereas with clothing, they might buy something thinking it's going to look a certain way, they get it, they try it on and they don't like it, or maybe it just doesn't even fit. and they want to return it to get their money back. So in my own personal experience, clothing did definitely have a much higher return rate, and I do have some friends that sell clothing, and that still apparently is the case. Carl Edgren asks, will you ever do a top 30 or a top 50 items to sell on eBay? Honestly, probably not, for a couple of different reasons. The first one being that markets are always changing, and so I feel like putting all of the time and energy into a big video like that would be moot before too long, because the markets would change and maybe those items wouldn't be popular anymore, or they wouldn't sell for as good of a price point. If I'm being completely honest, I've seen some of those videos floating around YouTube, and from what I've seen of them, they really don't hold a lot of value at all, because it's basically just showing you what other sellers have sold and at what price points, and there's little to no help with where you would actually find those kind of items at a price point that would turn a profit. I try to focus on making my videos as informative and helpful as possible, and I don't really feel like I could make a video like that that would really help anybody significantly. JB says, I stopped watching. Lindey, please, many people don't have 42 minutes to watch. 15 minutes or less and you will have more hits. Thanks. Ouch. No, I'm fine. But no, I wanted to actually bring this up because I'm really curious to know how many of my viewers like longer videos versus how many viewers wish the videos were shorter. I always try to include a lot of information in my videos, which can tend to push them on the longer side. But if a lot of my viewers are really wanting me to keep it at, 15 or 20 minutes and under, please let me know down in the comment section, because I really do appreciate any and all feedback. Diva Jefferson asks, hi Lindey. Hi Diva. Thank you for another great video. Thank you for watching. I'm having problems listing honest diapers and some types of face masks because eBay tells me you must have a business account to list these items. I have no idea what that means because I've had a business account for a long time. I also changed the listing to no international shipping. It's very weird, and I have to donate all of those diapers because I can't sell them. Should I just call eBay about it next time? So I know exactly what you're talking about. I am personally struggling with this face mask dilemma myself. There's actually 2 different varieties of face masks that I've had sitting in my eBay drafts because I cannot get the listing to go live on eBay no matter what I do. It tells me that I have to have a business license in order to list these items, and I do. I don't know what more they want from me. I'm wondering if this is something just in eBay's back end that you need to have certain permission or verification for. So to answer the last bit of your question, yeah, I would just recommend trying to get in touch with eBay because they can better guide you on exactly what the problem is. As for the honest diapers, I completely agree. I don't think it's worth the shipping price to list diapers on eBay, and a lot of the times we're not even allowed because this most recent pandemic that we've been dealing with, eBay has put a lot of additional restrictions on certain eBay categories. But even still, I would much prefer to sell diapers on Facebook Marketplace. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of success selling diapers on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I do think it is a very, very good thing that you did donating those diapers, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that could benefit from that. If you do come across diapers, baby wipes, things like that you might not want to list on eBay, I do recommend flipping on Facebook Marketplace because there is a market there for that. Julie Mason asks, have you ever got a Target pallet from Wholesale Ninja? Yes, I have. I have a few different unboxings of the Target Master Case pallets that came from Wholesale Ninjas. I will make sure to link it down in the video description. I'll also pin anything I'm referring to as the top pinned comment in the comment section. I also just got one delivered that I was planning to unbox and film at the end of this week. And so hopefully that unboxing will be available on my YouTube channel next week. So for now, go check out the other Target pallet unboxings that I have on my YouTube channel, but be looking out for a brand new one next week. Make sure you're subscribed and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified when that video is posted. Carol Martinez asks, hi Lindey. Hey Carol. When you buy products that come in damaged boxes, is that allowed to be taken out and sold without the box, or do you still need to include the box? So I actually look at it from the perspective of of the buyer. Meaning if the box is a little bit dinged up, I think to myself, if I was the buyer, if I received this box, how would I feel? And if I wouldn't like it very much, I will go ahead and take it out of the box and sell it without the box, as long as I know it's not used. And usually I'll discount the price to reflect the fact that the box is missing. And in the description of the listing, I will say that the box was damaged and not included, but the item is still new and unused. There are buyers out there that will still buy the product even if the box isn't included, especially if they're getting a discounted price because of it. And if you do have a box that's a little bit dinged up, but you still feel like it's okay to send to a buyer, just make sure to take pictures of it so the buyer knows what they're getting before it arrives. IndieGlockman says, "Hi Lindey, my name is Brett." Hi Brett, nice to meet you. When eBay requires 1-day shipping, is that 1 day until I print the shipping label or 1 day until I actually take it to the post office? Many thanks for all you do. Your advice and insights about the eBay platform has been invaluable. I've only been reselling for about 4 months now with 180 to 200 listings, and I have had 101 sales in March and 112 so far in April, and I'm now a top-rated seller. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much, Brett, and congratulations. That's fantastic. So to answer your question, a 1-day handling time is you have to print the shipping label and have the shipping label scanned within that 24-hour period. Or it might be a little bit more than 24 hours depending on when the buyer bought the item. So that means if you have a buyer buy something on Monday morning, by the end of business Tuesday, the item needs to have the shipping label printed and scanned by the shipping service provider you're using. And if you have a buyer buy something on a Friday and you have a 1-day handling time, then you just need to make sure that the shipping label is printed and scanned by the shipping service provider by the end of business on Monday. Sins Creations JHT asks, "Love your videos. Thank you so much. Do you think that due to reselling being so mainstream that there are too many of us now? You are amazing. Thank you so much." I think it's the exact opposite. I don't care how mainstream reselling is. I don't think that there's too many sellers out there at all. Because here's the thing. What this pandemic has signified is that we are transitioning into a new way of living our lives now. More people are working from home, more people are ordering things online, and online sales have skyrocketed significantly over the last 12 months. So not only has reselling given people a way to make more money while working from home, but it's also brought a lot more buyers to the sites. Before the pandemic, brick and mortar stores were closing down left and right, and everyone was moving their business to online shopping. And because of everything that happened in 2020, that just made it explode even faster. So I absolutely do not think there's too many sellers out there right now. I think that this is the perfect opportunity to become a reseller. So Susan Rogers had a comment. It's not really a question, but it's a comment that I wanted to discuss. Susan Rogers says, "I am so upset. I sell on Amazon. A customer ordered an item recently. They emailed and said, 'Refund immediately.' I responded by asking what's wrong. She says your product is no good. I respond with please return for a refund. The buyer freaks out and then goes to Amazon and files a claim stating that they didn't receive. Amazon immediately gave them a refund without returning my product. That's theft. And Amazon is propagating it. I appealed and they upheld the refund. I am absolutely furious. After all, it's not Amazon's money, it's mine. I want my perfectly good product back. How can Amazon screw sellers like this? The buyer is clearly lying. This right here is a reason why I do not advocate for sellers to sell on Amazon. This is the exact same reason why I took a lot of my business off of Amazon. This and lots of other things I haven't really talked about because I don't want to get in trouble for bad-mouthing any big company like Amazon. The problem is Amazon's selling platform is so big, all of the third-party sellers are basically a number. Amazon doesn't care about you, your business, and the fact that you may or may not be making money. And because of this, they will just give your money away to keep customers happy because they are just so big, they don't have time to look at it by a case-by-case basis. When you sell on Amazon's platform, you don't have the keys, it's not your business anymore. At least that's how I feel. And this is the perfect example of that. You as the seller had a right to tell the buyer, if you want a refund, I need you to return it. But what Amazon did is they completely overstepped your business, your right to dictate when that refund would go out, and they gave your money away. And they don't care. You appealed it, and they basically said, tough. We kept the buyer happy, and that's what's important to us. Just like you, I think that's some bullshit. Now, eBay does have the ability to do this exact same thing. However, eBay is not so freely taking the money from sellers in order to refund buyers. There's been many circumstances where a similar situation like this has arisen. A buyer has opened a case against me, and based on how I chose to handle the situation on my end, if eBay did decide to refund the buyer, they did it out of their pocket. They didn't take it out of my funds. Now, don't get me wrong. There has been those times when eBay has taken the money out of my funds just to rectify a situation with a buyer, but it's very, very infrequent compared to a platform like Amazon that hands out refunds like they're Oprah. You know, Amazon's all like, you get a refund and you get a refund and you get a refund. Just keep bringing the money to my site. And the thing that pisses me off so much about this is as third-party sellers, we pay a lot of fees to Amazon for the privilege of selling our products on their platform. So you would think that paying so much in fees, we would get a little bit more respect, and we don't. And so that's why I really do choose to give my fees and pay my dues to a company that actually shows me a little bit of respect. And that's why I primarily talk about selling on eBay. Now, eBay has its quirks. There's a lot of things that eBay does that's not exactly perfect, but eBay doesn't treat me like Amazon does. And I'm sure eBay wouldn't treat you like that either. So this is the part in my response where I say just be very, very cautious if you are selling on a platform like Amazon, which in my opinion is getting a little bit too big for its britches. Jennifer Warhawk asks, how do you manage selling online, making so many videos every week, being available for your kids and husband, and doing just everyday life? I can barely get my 10 to 20 items listed every day. I can't imagine making numerous videos too. So the first thing that I want to say is I do not do everything every day. It took years for me to get to the point where I had a schedule that I was comfortable with, and I figured out how to do certain tasks quickly and in different batches to give myself more time to get everything done. For instance, if I'm going to put on my makeup and actually do my hair and put up the camera equipment to film videos, I'm not just gonna sit down and film one video. I'm gonna film 3 or 4. And if I get a whole bunch of orders in and I want to film some unboxing videos, I'm going to do it all in the same afternoon. And then all of the videos get spread out throughout the month. And I just kind of edit in my free time. Very rarely will I ever film a video, edit it, and upload it all within the same 24-hour period. These frequently asked Friday videos is about the only video where I will work that fast. Usually all of my content is filmed, edited, and uploaded well in advance to make time for the other things I have to do. Also, don't forget that I do have some help. I will have my sister-in-law helping me do listings, and she also helps sorting and cleaning things up. And I have my husband around to do a lot of heavy lifting, take trash out, and break down boxes. So I absolutely do not do everything by myself, and I never want to make anything look any easier than it really is, because everything that gets done is hard. There's a lot of times where I just have to take breaks because I'm so overwhelmed and stressed out. And it's at those times where I'm thankful that I've filmed multiple videos and I have someone to help me list, because it allows me to take a break and just spend some time with my kids. But I would be lying if I said that everything in my household was perfect, because it's definitely not. I don't make cleaning a priority. I don't cook dinner every night, probably like I should. And that's because I do try to practice some self-care and I try to not push myself too hard. And that would be my advice to you. Don't push yourself too hard, and make sure to acknowledge every win that you have. Even if you only get up 2 listings, it's 2 listings more than you had up yesterday. Reborn Candy Cottage asks, when people make offers that are automatically accepted, will having the buy it now require immediate pay function prevent buyers from not paying? Unfortunately, no. The pay immediately function in the buy it now listing only applies to when a buyer just flat out buys it. If that offer button is hit, even if the offer is automatically accepted, they still can take their sweet time paying. eBay has stated in the most recent conference that I attended that with the age of managed payments, they will be able to require immediate payment based on offers, but they have yet to actually enact that. Hopefully that is coming. Lisa Strange asks, hi Lindey. Hi Lisa. I watch you all the time. Thanks for your videos. Thank you for watching, Lisa. Question is, I received an offer and I have free shipping on this item. I sent the buyer a reminder to pay and they sent me back a message saying, oh, thanks and glad to see your reply. I want to add $20 to your good for mailing/shipping. Do send me a message and picture in my private email. It's writing below in my signature under this message, I await your message. Say what now? I didn't send a reply back to that email they wanted me to. I just sent a reminder to pay again back through the eBay platform again. I'm thinking it's a scam. You're not wrong. I don't even think that we're supposed to email outside of the eBay platform, right? That is correct. Anyways, I haven't received any money from them yet. I think it's really a scam. Have you had anything like this happen to you? Thank you again for your videos. Yes, that is most definitely a scam. It's something that's very, very, very common for sellers to get if they have a newer seller account. So you asked if this is something I personally deal with. It is not. In my experience from talking to other sellers, it would really appear as though these scammer buyers really target sellers that have a lower feedback score, meaning they're newer sellers and they might just not know any better. I used to get messages like that back when I only had, for instance, a few hundred feedback score, but I would suspect that because I have an account that has a higher feedback score, that kind of tells these scammer buyers that I'm a more experienced seller and I'm less likely to fall for this. So I know that you asked this question days ago and you've probably already gotten it resolved, but in the event that this happens in the future, if you suspect that it's a scam, which this is clearly a scam, just go in and open up an unpaid item case as soon as you can within eBay so that eBay can close it out and you can relist it. Or if you don't want to wait that long, just go in and cancel the order and you can either say that there was a problem with the buyer's address or that they requested it. Because if you cancel an order because of a problem with the buyer's address or if the buyer requested it, then there's no negative repercussion in your eBay store. Now, normally I would not condone the use of canceling an order by saying that the buyer requested it if they didn't actually request it. But in this circumstance, you would have ground if eBay had a problem with it for you to actually show them the message and say, hey, there's obviously a problem with this buyer and I didn't want to have any negative repercussions for canceling this order, because it is most definitely a scam and they asked you to contact them outside of eBay, which is breaking policy. Tracy Shirk asks, hey Lindey. Hi Tracy. First, you are the one who made me believe that I could be a reseller on eBay, so thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm so happy to help. My question is, what do you do when a buyer opens a claim of not receiving their item, but it shows that it was delivered to their address? Would eBay have you refund their money even though there's proof of delivery? Thank you for taking the time to help encourage people with your videos. You're the best. Thank you, Tracy. So if the tracking states delivery, you're in the clear. If the buyer opens up an item not received case as the seller, all you have to do is provide the tracking number, state in the comments that the item was delivered and enclose the date of delivery, submit it to eBay, and case is closed. If the tracking states that the package was delivered, absolutely do not refund that buyer. The buyer wants a refund that bad, they're gonna have to really lean on eBay to give it to them. But as long as you as the seller have the tracking number that indicates delivery, If eBay wants to refund the buyer, they shouldn't be taking it out of your pocket, and it's very unlikely that they would. All right, it's about that time where we find out who our 18th winner is. Drum roll, please. The winner chosen by random comment selection is Stoodle Luna. All right, Miss Luna, I have already replied to your comment. Just get with me and I will make sure that you get your free lot from Wholesale Ninjas. Stoodle Luna asks, your videos are great. They have helped me scale my business so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to help. Do you ever give free gifts with purchase to help improve the sale of an item, such as listing it saying includes free gift? I have been seeing this often, but I am worried that it is a wasted effort. What is your opinion on this method? So for a platform like eBay, I would really say that it's probably a wasted effort. But then again, I don't know for sure because I've never done it on eBay. Now I have, however, done this on a platform like Poshmark because Poshmark is more of a girly, friendly, social kind of selling app. I have personally bought nice little gifts and included them with purchases of bundles of items in my Poshmark closet. But I would never do anything like that on eBay. And there's another big reason why. Because most of the items that I sell on eBay, if you add an extra gift to the package, you're increasing the shipping weight, meaning you have to pay more for the shipping label. On a platform like Poshmark, there's a flat shipping fee paid and it goes up to £5. So if you want to include some bonus gifts, the shipping label price isn't really affected by that. But with eBay, it is. If you want to include a little bonus gift, you might have to pay more for the shipping label, which eats into your profits. So now not only are you paying money for a bonus gift that someone may or may not have wanted, but you're also having to pay more for a shipping label to include a gift that someone may or may not just throw in the trash. I do think it's a really nice gesture, but I think that the same gesture can be recognized by using something like a nice business card or some sort of a flyer insert thanking them for their business. Something like that is a lot less likely to add weight to the package. It won't make you have to pay more for a shipping label, and the same grateful attitude still comes across to your buyer. And I really don't think that advertising a special bonus gift is really going to entice a buyer to buy something, because when they're on a platform like eBay, they're going to a platform to buy something and they're just going to buy it if they want to buy it. Knowing that they could be getting a free gift if they choose to buy it is what I suspect not very likely to sway their decision one way or the other. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next episode of Frequently Asked Fridays will be posted on Friday, May the 21st. So don't forget to go down into the comment section and ask a question now so you could be entered to win on episode 19. Just don't forget to put those 5 question marks that will indicate entry into the giveaway. Don't forget to give this video a like before you leave, and remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you with my next video. Bye-bye.